Good morning children. Welcome back to English class. So in today's session, I am going to start second unit. What is our second unit? That is social issues. Today we'll discuss a reading titled Oliver Asks for More. So what's our lesson children today? Oliver asks for more. Before that, children tell me, so we have already finished our first unit, right? Have you completed your classwork? All the three readings, make sure that glossary and summary should be there in your classwork. Is it right children? Have you finished or not? Okay, what are our three readings in the first unit? First one is Tattered Blanket. Second one is what? My Mother. And third one, a letter to a friend. Right children? Yes. And one more thing. What is that? I told you to prepare for ST, right? Have you prepared? Yes, I know that. You have prepared well. Okay. So today at the end of this session, I will give you ST questions. Make a note of that. Okay. So shall we start the second unit children? All of you open your textbooks. Open page number 16. Social issues. What's that children? Social issues. You are into 8th class now, so you might heard this word in your social subject actually. So have you ever heard this? What are social issues? What are called as social issues? That means the problems faced by the people, the common people. Those comes under social issues. So previously, if you look at 19th century or 18th century, there were so many social issues in our society. When we were under the ruling of the Britishers, then our previous people, our ancestors, they faced so many problems. But now the situation has been changed and we are able to live very happily. Okay, so can you tell me the examples for some social issues? Yes, the main thing like in the previous days, child marriages, widow remarriages, that was not accepted. Widow remarriage was not accepted at that time. So that was one of social issue. Child marriages. So at the age of 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, even sometimes below that age also, people used to get married. So child marriages, widow remarriages, and dowry, even that is still exists for today also. Because of that dowry, so many women are taking off their lives, or else they're suffering. They're suffering like they have to bear the cursings of their in-laws. The woman, it's even it leads to domestic violence also. Domestic violence means you know that right children. So these are some kind of social issues, or else discrimination. If you look at child discrimination, gender discrimination, gender bias, that is still exist. Even you might have heard or read about some of the incidents previously. The people, they doesn't want the girl child at all. They use it to kill the infant itself, infant killing. Okay, all those comes under social issues. So this present unit also deals with some of social issues. In the first unit, what we have seen children, it was about family. It was about relationships. We have learned how to behave with our family, right? So in this unit, towards the society, as a human being, what's our responsibility? How we should behave? If you come across any incident, if any people, if anyone is in trouble, what we have to do? From our end, definitely we can do something, right? If you find or found anyone on the road, a small girl or a boy, whoever it may be, who are not having parents, who were left or abandoned by their parents, if you come across such a child, what do you do? Or else, if you see the people begging on the roads, what do you do? What are you going to do from your end? Or else, if there are any disasters like cyclones, floods, if the people, anyone is suffering from those disasters, what are you going to do? So, as a human being, what's your responsibility? How to become a good person, that we are going to see throughout these unit, children. So, first, you have to be a good person, right? In the family, you should be a good son or daughter, of course, good brother or sister, and in the future, you have to be good mother or father, right? So, that we have seen. So, not only that, even we should be a good human being also. Understood, children? Yes. Now, open page number 16, as I already told you. If you look at that one quotation is there, right? What's that quotation? Home is the happiest place in the world. So, is it correct or not, children? It's true or not? Obviously, 100%, 1000%, even more than right. That right. Home is the happiest place in the world. Other than home, we can't find any such place which brings us happiness. Even though if you stay at the five-star hotel or any some other like hill station, if you go to home or wherever, only for few days, for some time, only you will be happy. But home is the place, it's the happiest. Happiest means it's under which degree, children? Superlative degree. Happy, happier, happiest. The happiest. That means if you compare with the n number of places, obviously the one word, the one answer will come, that is home is the happiest place in the world. So are you feeling like that, or are you feeling bored at your home? Because so for the last 6 months you're not at all going anywhere, totally completely spending time at home only. So now you can answer this question. How are you feeling? What's your feeling? For me, obviously, it's really home is the happiest place. Then what about you? What do you think? Or why do you think? Just think about that. Okay, and there are a few questions. Just look at those questions once. What's the first one? What does the sentence mean? So for each and every person, home is the happiest place because we have the most lovable persons like mother, father, brothers and sisters, and we can do anything. We can get anything. It's like our world. That's why we often call it as a sweet home also, right, children? So obviously that will be the answer. But if you think more than this, you can add to it. Okay? Next, do you agree or disagree with the view expressed in the saying? Why? So, you say yes or no. So, it's up to you. You can share your opinion. If you say yes, write the reason. If you say no, again, write the reason. Okay. Third one, do you like your home and why? So, obviously, this is also up to you only. If you like your home, give the reason. Why do you like your home? What's the reason for that? Okay, so these are the three questions. Now do one thing, children. In your homework book, copy these three questions and write answers for these three questions. That's today's homework. Is it clear, children? Yes, not only that, there is one oral discourse. Oral discourse means actually we have to talk orally. It's on the topic. What's the topic? The feelings of a homeless child. So take it as an elocution, children. So elocution, forgot or did you remember? So take it as elocution topic and prepare for this topic. If possible, say this in front of your parents. So how the feelings of a homeless child. Describe the feelings of a homeless child and also try to compare yourself with a homeless child. Homeless child means what? Obviously a person who doesn't have home. But here home means if we are not talking about the building or the living place. Homeless child means who doesn't have the parents. That's the actual meaning here. Obviously where such people live, children. So if any person, the small kid, if he or she doesn't have parents or anyone, then where they have to live. So they have to live in orphanages, right? And they are called as orphans. You know that already, right? Orphans means the persons who doesn't have parents. Okay, so they have to live in orphanages. Okay, the orphanages, did they get all the facilities, children? Whatever you are getting now at your home, the care or whatever it may be, can they get all those things? And one more thing also, if possible, don't force your parents, children. Whenever you get time, just ask your parents to get you people to, or take you people to one orphanage, nearby orphanage. If possible, donate something to them. You need not to spend lot of money on them, even though small thing. You can take the money from your savings itself. Try to help them, the poor people, orphanage. So just visit the orphanage, then definitely you can understand, children, what are the privileges you are getting at your home, different facilities or whatever it may be. Understood, children? Yes. So that's all about our picture question or face sheet. Okay, now shall we move to the lesson? Yes, look at the page 17. The lesson is Oliver asks for more. So from the title, what can you understand? What do you think? So here there was one boy named Oliver. He asked for more. What did he ask? What was that more? And to whom he asked? And where was he living? What happened exactly? Okay, we are going to see in this lesson. Okay, and before that, let us see about the author. Okay, open page number 20 about the author. So this Oliver asks for more was actually it was a piece taken from the novel written by Charles Dickens. So you can see the picture there, right? Charles Dickens. So he was born in 1812 and died in 1870. He is a well-known English novelist. Novelist means the person who writes and publishes novels. Okay. Due to his father's imprisonment, Charles left school and worked in a shoe factory. His father's imprisonment means his father was sent to jail. Because of some reason, he was sent to jail and he was arrested by the police. Because of that reason, Charles left school because Charles had to work. Okay, that's why he left the school and worked in a shoe factory. While he was working as an office boy, he launched his writing career. So first he joined the shoe factory and later even he worked as an office boy also. When he was working like that, he launched his writing career. Launched means here he started his writing career. His novels Oliver Twist, Great Expectations, Pickwick Papers, Bleak House, A Tale of Two Cities, and David Copperfield brought him name all over the world. So he wrote nearly 40 novels, children. Among them, these are the famous novels. Okay, he went on lecture tours to America and got literary reputation. He focused on social issues and human elements in his works about human sufferings. Okay, so that was about the other. So this Charles Dickens also faced so many problems in his childhood. As his father was sent to jail, he had to work for his family, and while he was working, he was humiliated, insulted, exploited by the people of these companies. So that's why he always wanted to concentrate on the social issues. So he became a writer. He started writing whatever he saw in the society. About that he started writing. So his writings mainly focuses on social issues and human elements in his works. Understood, children? So that's about the author. Now let's start the lesson. I'm reading it. This is an extract from the novel Oliver Twist, written by the British novelist Charles Dickens, 1812 and 70. It is the story of an orphan boy named Oliver who is brought to a children's home. So as we already discussed that this particular lesson is an extract. Extract means it's a part. Okay, it has been taken from the novel called Oliver Twist. So what was the novel name, children? Oliver Twist, which was written by Charles Dickens, and the present lesson is a part of the novel Oliver Twist. So he is the British novelist. He is a British novelist. Of course, here in our lesson, the main person, main character, hero of the novel is an orphan named Oliver. Orphan means, you know that, right? The child or the children who doesn't have parents. So he was brought to a children's home. Brought, B-R-O-U-G-H-T. Bring, brought. Understood, children? Past tense. He was brought to a children's home. Actually, Oliver was a poor boy. His mother was very poor. Okay, one day she was sent to a workhouse, children. Oliver's mother was sent to a workhouse as she was a very poor woman. Okay, workhouse means a place where homeless children are made to work. A place where homeless children are made to work. So Oliver's father was sent to a workplace. Okay, there she gave birth to Oliver. Okay, understood, children? Later, Oliver brought to the children's home. So workhouse is different and the children's home is different. Okay, when Oliver was born, he was sent to the children's home. It's like also orphanage only, children's home also, but there we can see only small children. Okay, next. Mr. Bumble walked on with long strides. Little Oliver, firmly grasping his gold-laced cuff, trotted beside him. Mr. Bumble. So this is one more character in the lesson. Mr. Bumble is like the head of this children's home. He is like an in charge. Okay. So what happened? One day he walked on with long strides. Strides means long steps. Okay. He went to the Oliver and told, little Oliver, firmly grasping his gold-laced cuff, trotted beside him. Trotted means followed him with the small steps because Oliver was very small. So little Oliver, he was firmly means strongly, and grasping. He was holding his gold-laced cuff. Gold-laced cuff means it's like yes, children, he was having one gold-laced cuff over his shirt. So he was firmly grasping that, and just he followed the Bumble. Okay, Oliver had not been within the walls of the workhouse for a quarter of an hour when Mr. Bumble informed him that the board had said he was to appear before it forthwith. Okay, so children, as I told you, when Oliver was born, he was brought to the children's home. But when Oliver turned 8 years old, again he was sent back to the workplace. Okay, and Oliver's mother was died immediately when she gave birth to the Oliver. Understood, children? One day, Oliver's mother was a poor woman. That's why she went to a workhouse. Workhouse means a place. What's the meaning? Where homeless children are made to work. So she went to the workhouse where she had to work. Okay, and she gave the birth to Oliver. After that, she was died. Oliver was sent to the children's home. When Oliver turned 8 years old, again he sent back to the workhouse because now he has grown enough, right? 8 years means he can work. For that reason, he was sent to the workhouse. Children, this information is not there in your lesson. Just remember, okay? So what happened? One day, Mr. Bumble went to Oliver and he said that to come with me. Then Oliver followed him. Okay, and not only that, what happened on that day? Actually, Oliver was not there in the workhouse for a quarter of an hour. Quarter of an hour means 1.5 hours. Okay, so when Mr. Bumble informed him that the board had set, he was to appear before it forthwith. Board, here the board means a group of managers, okay, board directors, the group of people who were taking care of that workhouse. So they came to know that Oliver was not there in the workhouse for 1.5 hours. That's why they told Bumble to take him to the board. Okay, so we'll see what happened next in the coming session. Now I will write the questions of ST on the board. Make a note and write ST. Okay, here are the questions, children. Make a note of the questions. Open your ST book, copy the questions and write answers for these questions. Don't cheat yourself. Okay, and tomorrow we'll conduct one more ST, children. So you have to learn page number 25 and 26 as well. So 25 and 26, 3 questions are there. From that I will give you or conduct ST 25 and 26, and today's homework I told you to write the picture questions in your homework. Write that one, page number 25 and 26, prepare for ST. Now note down the questions. Thank you.